Hi, it's Joy. I'm gonna come on here and make a video today. I ain't made one in a few days. My daughter reupholstered the kitchen chairs today in spring fabric. We're gonna go ahead and do spring. I know it's still winter, but it brightens the house up. And I'm in the process of making a new sink skirt out of these spring fabrics. That's what I'm starting on now. Then after I get done doing this, I have got to finish making burp rags for an order that was placed. Remember, I always do three or four back stitches to keep the stitches.
Puts them back in place. So they now take the uncut cards and they go cut them So to Publix, and then I go and give it to him, and he opens it later. The card's cut, the numbers are cut out.
I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and everybody was safe. Enjoyed time with your families or at home with your pets, whatever you wanted to do. We were sick, so we didn't get to go to no Christmas get together. I'm going to be doing mine with my oldest son next weekend.
What language do you speak? Mandarin. Mandarin? Okay. I'll get a translator.
I'm having a pretty good day. When you're sewing these jelly roll strips together, I went from this end down to that, from this end down to this end. So this time I'm going to go from this end down to that end, because if you sew all of them the same direction, it will be wavy. So I take my next strip, my next jelly roll strip.
A car like that one runs about 200 grand. Altogether, the couple had scanned 42 stores across Florida.
The vehicle? Is that your husband or boyfriend? Is it his car?
Get it ready.
What kind of car do you have?
Back stitch. If you don't back stitch, eventually with pressure and pulling, your stitching will start coming apart and your project will fall apart. So it's very important that you back stitch. I watch this lady, Tammy, she always says, because my grandma said so. Well, I can remember the same thing. Both of my grandmas sewed, and there was always either tying off or back stitching their first and their last stitch. I have 2 quilts made by each of my grandmothers, and I love them. I've got them on my quilt rack. I wish I had took up sewing a long time ago, because I actually really do enjoy sewing very much.
Do we have her on video? Yes, right?
Walking in and putting them. Got this. Everybody still sees. Look at that logo. Looks like it's all around Florida. Yeah. Just stealing money.
The cops had multiple surveillance videos gathered from multiple stores across Florida. In the video, you could plainly see the couple as they tampered with the cards on the shelves. Strangely enough, though, the couple lived in New York.
Did I
And it
That
was
one
unclear why they
backwards?
chose to carry out this scam in
I
Florida.
don't think
How are
so.
you? Good? You speak English? Number two. You want to get something out of your room? You have something to get out? Laptop, you can do that.
I know most people don't have sink skirts nowadays. They've got cabinets. But my daughter
Do your phone?
wanted a sink skirt. So we took the cabinet doors off
Yep.
and made under the kitchen sink a sink skirt.
Yes, I was just gonna ask you, and also she
Remember,
wants to know if we
gotta
can
do
get
your
her
back
two phones,
stitching.
2 phones, 3 phones. 2 phones and 3 laptops. Door open, 70 sitting out with the open door.
Oh, okay.
Alright, the next one
All of them? What'd you say about work? No, the computer.
I'm gonna start on this end.
She with that? And over here?
And it's purple.
After searching the couple's apartment, the cops found numerous gift cards, including some that had been ripped up and partially flushed down the toilet. Both Lou, who was undocumented, and Chen, who was in the U.S. on a student visa, were charged with scheme to defraud.
Put my glasses back on.
On the 11th of January 2024, the cops called a female suspect, who said her name was Camilla, trying to carry out a fraud at a Verizon store. As things turned out, she was trying to buy a
Even
phone
it
with
up.
a stolen identity.
No, I already have an account.
Okay.
But why am I getting called on?
So is it something to do with the phone getting someone else's account and looking at it as a 20-year-old account? You have your account. So it's under your name?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is my phone that the call got sent to. I'm not. That's actually them. She said, put them on speaker. Put on
If you're more comfortable going through and pinning these or clipping them,
Phone number and everything?
Yes.
Okay. How long has it been?
go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna stop you from doing what makes you more comfortable. But when I'm sewing straight and
But her attempted act
unless I absolutely have to,
serious,
I do not
as the
clip and
evidence was
pin.
mounting that she tried to commit fraud.
Do you have your ID on you?
It's just a step that I don't normally take.
You don't go out there. Use that on the board. Your friend? Okay.
Now certain projects, yes, I clip and pin, clip or pin
What's
every one of them.
Where's your ID at? Correct. She has to check your cup holder. Here's a picture of your ID.
Doing my back
Do you have anything
stitching.
in your account that helps? 'Cause I'm not getting anything back from you, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't look like you're born in '89.
I mean, I'm happy everyone's saying, but. Oh, I don't understand.
Did you give them ID?
No, I gave them
The next one
number and
is another purple with pink flowers.
Okay.
just made it to right now. And then I got on the phone with the credit line. She said, hold on my account. So after she sent the code to my phone, she sent the code, I allowed it. Then that was it.
Okay. You keep looking for like something with your name on it.
She was in a Verizon store, a place of business, but she had no ID whatsoever. And on top of that, she also told the cops that she didn't know her old
I'm gonna go up and back stitch this a little bit more because I gotta cut the ends off of these.
That, of course, was a lie.
How long have you lived this?
After I get done sewing this together, I'm gonna take it over to my serger and I'm gonna go all the way around it to serge the edge. That way when we take it down and wash it, it won't fray. And there won't be strings hanging everywhere.
This is my sister's.
I'm glad I finally decided to get my serger out of the box after 4.5 years. Took me
I just looked.
took me 2 hours to thread it, but Now I know how to thread it, so I don't think it would take me that long again. But when my thread starts to run out, I'm going to tie a knot in it and just pull it on through.
I literally left my wallet at home. I'm like, damn, I got my wallet at home.
Camilla claimed that she didn't have a credit card, despite earlier claiming that she was planning to buy a phone. As far as that friend in the car,
I got
she
off
said
the
she didn't
edge.
know their name, and she didn't know her friend's name. That she
This is my little seam ripper. It looks like a little shaver. Get it up against the
What's his name?
stitches and just
That guy's his name.
up you go.
So the only problem that I have is none of the story kind of makes sense as to what's going on, okay? Because he's providing a totally
See,
different name.
it just took the stitches out real quick instead of having to pick them out.
Store and stuff.
Yeah, because I lost my car. My car is down. So I gotta get around. It's cold outside. So I had to
Now since I cut that and started back again, I'm going to do a back stitch.
Wait for 1 sec, I'll be right back. You heard that she gave a fake name? So who got me money? I'm gonna fuck this snap to see if I have any money or anything like that's associated with this one female that.
Was it that, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what it was. I don't even know what it's like,
I didn't do any sewing yesterday. My sister's moving, so I went down to her house and helped pack up and move stuff. And then me and her and my other sister Gina, we went to Longhorn Steakhouse and ate together. I had an amazing time with my sisters. Hadn't got to do that in a while because of sickness and just not being able to get together. I really enjoyed myself. I wish my brother could have been there.
These things can get the account holder's information on. I'll have them let her know it's all that's finance. So basically, it's just to get the phone.
After talking to the man in the car outside, they found out that she'd given a fake name. The cops had a hunch she'd been trying to buy a phone under a fake identity, and as things turned out, she'd also bought a phone earlier that day at an Apple store.
What was your first name? What is it? Kamel? Okay, you're under arrest. Go and pop up for me.
Where am I under arrest for?
Attempted theft over and lying about your name.
Change my bobbin. First thing I do when I change my bobbin, check my stitches.
Pop your hand behind your back. So my assumption is that there's more stuff down
Perfect.
north. Okay. Yeah, where the other receipts are out of. So if that's the case, I'm sure that they're gonna have cases on them as well. If there's other accounts and stuff that you've. Okay.
Since I cut and had started back stitch.
So I'm just going to assume the worst case scenario, right?
And you said it was.
This one, this 15 and this 10, that was in your back pocket, you said it was, which was purchased today at an Apple in Chicago.
Now I'm gonna start on this end this time,
Right.
rotating it so it don't get wavy.
It makes sense, but we're not getting the full story, right?
She had now gone silent, and she might have finally realized that the lies weren't helping her case. Every word the woman said fell apart under questioning, and for the very first time, it seemed like the woman was out of excuses.
What's your relationship with him?
My friend. No, for real, you keep saying it.
He
Yeah.
is the dealer? Alright, your friend, you don't know the last name of?
No, that was crazy.
Man, you're a bad liar.
Basically, what we're going to do is, where we're at, I think you have committed identity theft, fraud, possibly forgery, and then whatever happened here today.
They charged the woman with forgery, possessing a fraudulent ID, obstructing identification, and attempted felony theft. On the 14th of August, 2024, in Florida, the cops were called to a Walmart after an employee reported someone skip scanning at the self-checkout.
If anybody has
What they
any
had heard, though,
questions
was that her kids
or
were
ideas or something they'd like to see me make, or anything I could answer for you. I'm not a professional sewist. I just started sewing during COVID. But if I can't find the answer, I'll figure out how to find the answer for you.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what that card is.
Once the cops arrived, store security showed them video evidence from their surveillance cameras. The footage showed the woman deliberately confiscating multiple items and then putting them in her bag.
I have a basket, a tote of fabric that I don't care one bit for my daughter to get in and pick out fabric to reupholster the kitchen chairs in. But when I come home, she was doing it. The fabric looked awful familiar. And I was like, did you get that out of the bottom tote? And she was like, no, I got it off your stack of fabric on your dresser. And I was like, no, you didn't. That was new fabric that I had bought for a reason. But I didn't fuss at her because it did look pretty, but kind of ticked me off.
Somebody's messing with this. That's why.
Here's the next green one.
Woman committing crime clear as day on CCTV. She still maintained she'd done nothing wrong and told the officer that she'd scanned every item.
But beyond that, you had an opportunity to pay it when you're at the register scanning it or misscanning it. Three hangers in it?
The showing was like 2 or 3 on 100. That's what I'm trying to say. No, I scan the part and they go together, right?
Looks like she scanned the same thing twice.
No, they
She was obviously trying to play dumb, trying to convince the officers that it was all just a misunderstanding. If she'd only skipped a few things, that might have been believable, but not when things added up to $200.
I'm going to pause a second. I want to show you what I made yesterday.
No. See what happened is when I pull it up, I just scan it like I put everything in time and I just scan it like that.
I made a whole bunch of these little monthly bags. Pink, blue, black, multicolor, sage green, yellow, green, and red. I made them, I'm going to try to sell them for teenagers or women to put what they need for each month. So you don't have to carry a big bag. You can just take your little pouch with you. I made some for my granddaughters.
Who had flown in from the Bahamas to vacation in Florida.
Even the little ones.
To let her go because
They can use it as a little purse.
she should have thought about that if we were stealing it from the same 2 kids. Clearly, she was not setting a very good example.
I moved it on Friday.
I'm going to pause this, and then when I get done sewing these last few on, I'll start it back.
Financially, but she bragged about her food stamps.
I turned it back on. I'm fixing to sew the last strip. It's this pink one, pink and white one.
only made her look more guilty. Meanwhile, the cops managed to track down the second suspect.
I went, go ahead and I went in there and I measured the cabinet again. I keep forgetting what length I need it to be. Maybe after I make a few more of them, I won't forget the length.
So what exactly happened at the gas station? Arguing over what? You guys don't have money? No. So why would there be a Cash App transaction with your picture on it?
When the suspect realized that the cop had more information than he was letting on, he started
I have a cramp in my finger. I have been cramping so bad the last, well, ever since I had the stomach virus. I don't know if my potassium's too low.
Doing 100 for 100?
I gotta quit for a minute. When my fingers do this and I can't move them, yeah, that hurts.
So why'd you just lie to me then?
I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm waiting on them to bring Emmy. I'm gonna keep her tonight. She's my little sweetheart. Hunter and Libby's already here. Bobby and Katie and Mavis and Hunter and Libby just left to go get them a burger down at the diner.
He claimed he wouldn't lie to the
Katie's a good mom. Proud of her.
Like the guy was lying. It quickly became crystal clear that almost everything that came out of their mouths was a lie.
And she's as good to her stepkids as she is her own daughter. And a lot of times you don't get that. Some of these things I've watched on TV where parents or step parents are super duper mean. That's just, if somebody was mean to my kids, I wouldn't have stayed with them. My finger's still cramped up.
They arrested the couple and both were charged with battery, theft, and fraud. Scammers can lie and cheat and put on their most innocent act, but when the handcuffs come out, things always fall apart. In the end, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing these manipulative scammers get off.
The best thing, because surrendering
Of course.
is
It was never.
the ultimate way to do it instead of hiding.
You're being arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle.
Second time today.
Second time today?
It's probably the same judge.
Can the police out?
No one.
Exactly.
Stick you back.
Everyone loves a well-deserved vacation. You get away for a while, you come home with great
See how
memories,
pretty that
cocktail
is?
or two, but very few
Don't seem
expect
like
to come
that's-
back with sand in their shoes and criminal charges on their record. We're going to check out 5 instances where a vacation wasn't what these subjects
Let me pause this. I went in there and held this one up to the one I've already made, and evidently these strips wasn't cut 2.5. They was cut 2 1/4, so it's not quite long enough, so I'm going to have to add a few more strips to it. When I get them added, I'm going to add a red and a pink and a purple. When I get them added, I'll start the video back. I'm going to iron, then cut, and then I'm going to serge the edges, and I will videotape doing that. But while I'm working, I'm not very good at talking at the same time. So I'm going to pause the video again until I get these 3 strips on. I will unpause it, show you the skirt, then I'll show you cutting it, serging it, and adding the Velcro to it, and then the video will be done. Thanks.
Once everything's revealed, put them in the handcuffs in the car in the back seat.
Unpause the video. I was going to show you.
We'll drive somewhere else to do that.
Here is the sink skirt. The purple's the bottom.
I mean, there's kids around. I got other kids.
Pink,
Across the
purple,
street
got all
of
the
that
different
vacant
colors.
lot, I mean, there's something across the street
right there.
It's going to be hanging like
If
this.
you want to just go walk across there, take the kids.
Now I'm going to iron it. Hi, me again. I just got done sewing it together. That's the bottom. Here's what it is. Ain't it pretty? I put the Velcro on the back to stick to the Velcro. I serged the edges of it so it doesn't fray when we wash it. Now I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to show you now that I hung the skirt up, the sink skirt. There it is. I love it. And then today, my daughter got in my fabric. I told her she could get in my bottom tote because it's stuff that I don't really use. She got into my good fabric while I was gone. Get on, Pee-Pee. She did this chair in pink. And then she did these chairs in the blue. So there's 2 blue and 2 pink ones. I didn't fuss. If I'd have been here, she probably wouldn't have got it, but oh well. Ain't like I don't have a bunch more fabric. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching the video if they do. And talk to you later. Bye.